Hi guys, how are we all doing? It's time now for build update number 3. And in build update number 3 we're going to get the weathering done. We've built it in update 1, update 2 we painted it, and now we're going to weather it. Okay. Now there she is. It's all gloss coated, ready for weathering. As you can see, it's got a nice shiny coat in it. Okay. Some size, nice size vehicle. So what we're going to do, we're going to make up a bit of wash. Okay, so I'm going to bring the camera down and we can show you how I make up the wash that I use. Sort of an enamel based wash. So excuse the old clink. Right, there we go. Yeah, down to the bench there. There we go. I'll fix the light. No, there we are, down at the bench. Now, what I use this stuff. Okay. Ordinary white spirit. Cheap pound shop white spirit. I have a little dribble of it left, which is perfect. I only need a small bit. Okay. I also buy these in the pound shop. What they are is they're sort of, you get them in the party section of Poundland. If you're in England or in Ireland, it's deals. You can get them in the party section. They're little plastic shot glasses. They're ideal for mixing paints and things. They're brilliant, absolutely fabulous. And you get a dozen of them for £1 or €1.50, whichever the case may be. Okay. Now, I don't want to go making massive amount of it. Okay, it's pointless really. So you only make a small bit of wash. We make a little bit more than that, just a little bit more than that. Okay, there we go. Right, as you can see, just a small dribble of wash in there, and I'm going to make it a black wash. So I'm going to use this, okay, which is Revell email color, and I'm using number 8 matte. I don't know if you can get it on that, but it's matte black. Okay, and how it's made up is, you get a paintbrush, we stick it into the paint, wiggle it around inside, nice blob, and make up our wash like that. Okay. Oh. When I was gloss coating the vehicle, I gloss coated the underneath side as well, even though we're not going to see the underneath side for a finish. Do you know what I mean? Because very rarely you lift up your model and have a look. Okay. It's always a good area, especially when you got little things like this, to test the wash. So we just give it a little dip in. Now, as you can see from that wash is actually quite nice. Okay, I do want it a little bit darker, just a tad, so we'll give it another bit of black paint. Okay, mix it all up. Right. Rachel trying to get Abby to go to bed, 9:15 in the evening. Anyway, there we go. That should be right now with that. Okay, so we're back onto the underneath side again. We pick out a different piece. We just do that. That pops in there nicely. Alright. Yeah, I am happy with that. Okay, I am happy with that. Right, so we'll go onto the side here now on the wheel. We'll have a look at one of the wheels. Okay, so, oh, brilliant, well done. Just knocked over everything, so I gotta start all over again. I don't know, I can kind of, yep, accidents will happen, don't they? I just spilt everything. Right, now, waste not, want not. I will only wipe up the area that's going to sort of continue spilling to, and I'm going to use that bit of wash there that I'm after spilling. Right, now, this goes to show how unorganised I am. Right, there we go. How's that? A bit too much, a bit too bright. There we go. Now we pick a wheel in the centre. We've got our wash sort of on the table. I just want to give this a very, very subtle weathering. Nothing too extravagant. Now when you're working on wheels, especially because you don't want it to sort of gather down to the bottom, you want to keep it nice and even. So work everything on the flat. Right. And there we go, as you can see. See the difference there in the two. Okay, so I'm going to lay the vehicle down here on its side like that. I'm going to work around and get the rest of the wheels done. It should dry reasonably fast, okay, because the what's going to happen is the methylated spirit of the white spirit is going to evaporate away. It's going to leave the old paint behind it. Your white spirit is your carrier. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to carry on with the rest of them. I'm going to try and use up some of this paint that I've wasted by knocking it over. Once it gets to the stage where I can't use it anymore, I'll go into the thing, and I've got to make some more. Then I got to make some more, unfortunately. So I'll carry on with that, and we'll have a look at it when it's all done. Okay, so there she is now. I'm after giving it a black wash. I'm after giving it a slight little bit of rusting on some of the nuts. Oh, some of the nuts. Rusty nuts. And some of the bolts, or whatever they're nuts or bolts. Just a slight bit of rusting on them. Remember, these things, when they went to Kursk, they wouldn't have been that battered up or bruising or anything like that. They didn't last that long in this configuration. So, because after the Battle of Kursk, they were all taken back. Anything that was left, basically, were taken back to the factory, and then they changed them into the Elephant by adding hull machine gun, commander's couple, and a few other bits and pieces were added to it to make it into the Elephant. So as the Ferdinand, they didn't really last that long as a Ferdinand, so therefore they wouldn't have been overly weathered. Okay, they wouldn't have rusty patches or anything like that. Okay, some of them would have got damaged and things like that, but this is basically before the battle. Okay, so it would have been dirty, alright. It would have slight little rust marks and things like that on it. Okay, you know, any bit of exposed metal, it does rust up very, 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 very quickly if it's you know, exposed. So next step now is I'm going to do that rust wash on the tracks, but before I do that, I'm going to dull coat the whole lot. So it's going to get a dull coat. For the dull coat, I'm going to use this, which is XF86. Right there, so you can see it. Oh, come on. XF86, which is flat clear. Doesn't want to show me that it's XF86. Come on, zoom into that. Okay, XF86. I know it's not coming up very, very clear, but it is XF86. Flat clear from Tamiya. So I'm going to flat coat the whole lot. But with the weathering that I'm after giving it already, I'm happy with that, because this makes it look nice and, you know, dirty. The wheels, if you can see them, they come out very, very well. Okay. Overall, I'm very, very happy with the weathering so far. This one isn't going to be overly weathered, like I said and like I explained, because maybe they didn't last long enough to get superly weathered. So, dull coat, and then the tracks, and once the tracks are finished, it's basically done. So all I'm going to do with the tracks is give them that rust wash that I use, and give them a black wash after the rust wash, and a little bit of dry brushing with silver, just to show where the you know, the going over roads and God knows what else, the tracks would have metal rubbing off metal and rubbing off the roads and rocks and things like that. It would have stopped any bit of rust and, you know, shined it up a little bit. So that's really all that's got to be done to it, and then, shall we say, she's finished. So I'm going to give that the dull coat now, and when the dull coat is dried, I will give it the rust wash then on the tracks. We'll have a look at it then, and more than likely that'll be the end of it. So this will be the last time you'll see it before the final reveal, because I'm only doing one or two other little things, and if I show you them as they're done, then that is the final reveal. So I get this all finished off, and then we'll have the final reveal of the ZVEZDA's 1/35th scale Ferdinand. Okay, so one last little spin before the tracks are done. Ta-da! Okay, so I'll go off now and I'll get that dull coated. Right, so now we have finished the weathering. Well, when I say we, I mean me, of course. The royal we. Yeah, I finished the weathering. The weathering is all done on it. So in a second I'm going to change the angle, bring it down, let's have a look at it. Regarding the weathering, all I did was I gave it a black wash, an extra little pin wash on top of that, just to get the panels and all that just to pop out a little bit better. Black wash was to kind of darken everything down and make it kind of dirty looking, you know, just in general grime as opposed to built up dirt. I didn't do any real damage to it. I didn't do any damage at all to it, really. The reason for that is really the Ferdinand only saw one engagement, and that was the Battle of Kursk itself. After the Battle of Kursk, any of the Ferdinands that were left were brought back to the factory, and they were changed around, and then they became the Elephant. Couple of little minor things to them. They added a whole machine gun. They changed the commander's cupola to you know, the round type with the vision blocks and things like that. Couple of other modifications they made to it. They covered the grills and things. So in its form of the Ferdinand, it did only kind of see one battle, and they were brought fresh from the factory basically to the battle. So they'd have only had sort of driving grime on them, you know, like from driving over terrain and things like that. So they wouldn't have been that bad. Okay, they wouldn't have been overly weathered, so it's pointless overly weathering this. I did a slight bit then of rusting to the tracks, very, very slight, because, like, again, they wouldn't have been out that long. They'd have just kind of got it in patches, you know, where paint would have worn off them and things like that, because the you know, again, it's they wouldn't have been that damaged, it wouldn't have been that worn or rusty. Okay, so I'm happy with how it came out. Overall, quick overall of it, it was a nice build. It really was. It was a nice build. Everything fitted together. I thought I was going to have some sort of gaps in it as I was building. I was like going, oh well, I need to fill that. And as I added on parts, that kind of covered over those areas. So I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. Fit wise, it was brilliant. It really was. It was a lovely little kit to build. Yeah, it could, of course, it could have been better in some places. Would have been nice to have a kind of a semi-interior to it, so you could have had the hatches open. Because if you open the hatches, you get just this big void inside, so you can't really do anything with that. I suppose you could have kind of scratch built something, little plinths or something, if you wanted to stick a figure into the commander's hatch, have the doors open on it, and you could have stuck a figure in there. But apart from that, it was brilliant, and for the price of ZVEZDA kits, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong at all. So, well, enough said, let's go down, let's have a look at it, and its final reveal. And here we go, there she is. And like I said, I didn't sort of do any over weathering on it, just sort of some driving grime, as it would get dirty from being driven over rough terrain and getting to the battle and things like that. So it wouldn't have been the spotless clean, it wouldn't have been immaculate, but it would have got sort of just generally dirty. Like I said, I didn't do any battle damage to it or anything like that. So it's in reasonably good shape, just a bit dirty. I'm very happy with how the camouflage scheme came out. As you saw from the video, I freehanded all that. With the black wash, it just made it look very dirty, and I was thrilled with that because it just looks real, it looks realistic. It really, really does. Very, very little more I can say about it. It's just it was an enjoyable build. I really did enjoy building it. Anything else I can say about it? Not really. Not really. Yes, I've stuck it onto an old base. You've seen this before. I think this was actually the base I did for the Nashorn. Yes, this was the one I did for the Nashorn. I do bases, but I've no really place to store them. So what I do is I do a base for the odd vehicle, then I take the vehicle off and I stick it on the shelf. There's no room for it on the shelf or anything else, so I'm moving stuff around and they're kind of getting tightly packed on it. So that's really it. Okay, it's on a kind of a wobbly stand at the moment, so excuse the wobble. But another quick spin around, we get to see the Ferdinand in all its glory. Right. Also known as a tiger. Some people even called it the Tiger assault gun. I've heard it being referred to, purely because the base was originally designed to be for the Tiger, and Porsche Tiger assault gun. That's one of the names. It was kind of one of the unofficial names it was given, but it was called the Ferdinand after himself, Ferdinand Porsche. So there she is, from ZVEZDA, built by John, built by John, and as I said, an enjoyable kit to build from ZVEZDA. So that's it, lads. Don't forget to stay tuned to the channel for further builds. Don't forget to join myself and Abby on Mondays for the bum. Yes, we've got a bench update Monday. Excuse the noise outside, motorcycles flying up and down to beat the band. I'll be back with you very, very soon. If you check the channel out, I'm after getting another unboxing up on the channel there for the T14 Armata. So check out the build and that, check out the unboxing. The build then will be following that. Be my usual build videos where I sort of build it over one or two videos, get it painted and then weathered with the final reveal. So there we go, that's it, Ferdinand, and the end of the video really. So I'll catch you in the next one, lads. Stay safe, wait for that bike to pass. Don't forget, enjoy your modelling, enjoy the hobby, because that's what it's all about. And go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it. John signing off saying, enjoy your building, enjoy your modelling, stay safe.